Now, my guest is back, of course, third series of Bridgerton, all starting next month. Before that, though, Adjoa Andoh is starring in a very different series. It's a new crime thriller called The Red King.
A child has gone missing.
There is a state of panic because of your actions.
Do you know something? Something you don't want me to know?
The true aim. There we go.
Shut her down!
Who are you?
I know you didn't choose to come here, but we didn't choose you either.
Well, this looks fantastic. It's great to see you.
Oh,
really
thanks,
good to
Lorraine.
see you.
Lovely to be
so,
here.
The Red King.
Yes.
Cracking cast. And
Yes.
you said it was one of the most joyful experiences of your career working on this.
Oh, my gosh. We had such a brilliant time. We had such a brilliant time, I was a bit like, did we have too good a time? What's it actually going to look like? But I like watching shows on the telly when they're on.
Yes.
So it started last night.
Yes.
You can watch it on Alibi, Now TV, Sky and Virgin. It's all right. We did OK.
You certainly did.
Yes,
You certainly did. Interesting women that you play.
Yes.
Very interesting women.
Yes.
There's a sort of them and us vibe going on about all the people
Definitely.
that live on this island.
Definitely.
And then if you're an incomer or a police officer investigating,
Exactly.
it's a wall, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I think that's part of the treat of it. It's like the new sheriff comes into town.
Yeah.
And that's Anjali Mahindra, unbelievably fantastic in this. But she's coming into an island that's quite often cut off because the weather is so terrible.
Right.
We have a thing called the Widow's Wail that happens, and there's no signal, you can't get to the island, the telephones go down, the Wi-Fi, everything goes down. So people are cut off and they're quite insular. And it all started with my grandfather, Lord Nancarrow, the first Lord Nancarrow. During the flu epidemic, he cut the island off, so nobody got in. This is the
first one,
after the First World War.
Yeah.
So nobody got in, nobody got out, and the island became incredibly insular then. So it's open for tourism. We need the tourism. Lady Nancarrow, that's me, his granddaughter. She knows that they need tourism to keep everything ticking over.
Sure.
She wants things to be peaceful, but she is, she owns half the properties on the island. She's the landlady, and she's sort of like the island's mother.
Yes.
I suppose, something like that.
Very much so.
And then Anjali's character comes in. She has had trouble in her previous police posting, and she's been sent to the island. Not exactly a step up.
Right.
So she arrives and she does everything by the book and she wants everything just so. Whereas the island, they've got a police officer who's retired. They've got the one police officer there. He mainly reads Terry Pratchett. That's what his policing is.
Because there's not a great deal.
There's not a great deal to go on. But then a father whose son has gone missing, played by the brilliant Mark Warren, accosts her and says, you need to reinvestigate this. And then everything starts to tumble and turn.
It's such a brilliant premise, isn't it? Especially that sense of isolation.
Yes, and
in the modern
way we
times.
do things here.
Yes.
That sort of
Don't
thing.
you be coming in here telling me how to
with
do
your
my job,
newfangled
sort of
things.
idea.
Yeah.
Welsh accent, how did that go? I mean, to me, it sounds very good, spot on.
All the cast, most of the cast were Welsh.
Right.
So, you're already going... But I went to school I grew up in the Cotswolds.
Right.
All my teachers pretty much were Welsh because we were right close to the border. And my piano teacher when I was at primary school, who actually taught at my secondary school with my mother, because my mother taught me, was Heather, also called Heather, and Welsh. So my Heather is based on piano teacher Heather.
Oh, that's lovely.
My
So
mummy's friend.
You can draw from that, from real life.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So I rang her up and I said, Heath, I'm playing you. I'm going to be Heather. It'll be you.
You be you, that's really good.
Yeah.
Talking about, in real life, you talked about Heather, in real true life, you've been doing something, it's one of these things where you think, why have they not been doing that for ages? Tree aid.
Tree
aid. I know how passionate you are about this, and I don't blame you.
I love trees. Trees are my favourite things ever. Trees will save the world, is my feeling. So Tree Aid was set up by some foresters in Bristol.
Right.
Obviously, I was born in Bristol. You've got trees and Bristol, I'm in. And their whole raison d'etre is to use trees to work against climate change and also to allow people to use trees as an agricultural product, if you like. So agroforestry is a big thing. So I was in Ghana visiting family. My dad's from Ghana. And we went to the north, and I went to visit one of Tree Aid's projects at a village in the north where the locals are trying to stem the effects of climate change, because what happens there is where the rains would come over 4 months. They now come over 2, but it's the same intensity.
Yeah.
And when they come, they wash away the roads, they wash away topsoil, they wash soil into the rivers get blocked up. Somebody was telling me that if there's one road that goes to the hospital, so when that's washed away, pregnant women are not able to, you know, it's like effects you don't even think about.
Absolutely.
But what trees do is the roots of the trees hold soil together. They stop, if rain's falling heavily, they stop it hitting the ground, it bounces off the leaves, it goes into the ground, is absorbed more effectively. Along river banks, it holds the sides of the river in, so the soil doesn't wash into the water. And also you can farm them. So they grow loads of shea butter trees. Shea butter trees, shea trees that we make shea butter from.
But they should be called that.
Yeah.
We'll call them that now.
Thanks, Lorraine. And the nuts, they look like pecan nuts, but you smash them and crush them and boil them and do all sorts of things, and you end up with the fabulous shea butter that we use as a moisturiser.
Which is brilliant.
Which is brilliant. So they do that. They grow crops in between the trees, so they're shaded. So Tree Aid have been planting trees from Ethiopia right across under the desert to try and stop the desert moving south.
I just think...
Oh, they're amazing.
You know, because you know sometimes you hear about things like climate change and you think, well, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And to see that sort of... And it's so... It makes
so
such
simple.
Common sense.
And it's nature helping nature.
It's so good.
And so we've been part of the Big Give charitable donation things, where they've been match funding green charities. So we smashed our target. We're thousands of pounds over our target. So we're absolutely thrilled about that. And by midday today, if people donate before midday, then we can increase more and more. And what the project does, it really empowers women fundamentally, because women are doing a lot of the agricultural work. If they get better returns, if they can start to market the trees as well as use the trees to protect their land, that money goes back into their families. And as we know, when the woman has the money, then she can sort out better farming practices, education, health.
Great.
Young girls get a higher rep in the community because they're part of something that's productive. And yeah, it's sort of powerful for change in all sorts of ways.
Love your passion, and I think it's a wonderful thing to do. And of course, we're going to see you in the Red King, and then Bridgerton. Be looking forward to Bridgerton. It's coming back. We're all sort of sitting, waiting with our arms crossed, going, OK then. And yeah, it's just been. It's one of those things. Got us through the pandemic, and now we can just enjoy the third series. And really looking forward to it.
This series is going to be. It'll be lovely for the wallflowers among us.
Oh, right.
Penelope gets her moment in the sun.
Excellent. Well, I should think so. About time too.
Yeah.
So, of course, we can watch episode 2 of The Red King next Wednesday.
Or you can
catch up.
Stream it.
Yeah, you can
see the whole thing.
That's the thing, though. You watch the one and then you want to watch the others. It's on Alibi, Sky, Virgin and Now.
It is.
So you cannot miss it.
Yeah.
It's so good to see you.
Oh, thanks, Lorraine. Thanks for having me on.
I love your very elegant, but edgy elegance is the new thing.
Edgy elegance.
Edgy elegance.
Coined here.
Thank you so much. Great to see you. Thank you.